Hello, everyone, and welcome to At Barrons. I'm Andy Serwer, and welcome to our guest, Thomas Peterffy, founder of Interactive Brokers. Thomas, nice to see you.
Thank you very much for having me.
So let's talk a little bit about Interactive Brokers. It's an online brokerage that specializes in low-cost trades, mostly for larger clients. Is that right? Tell us about it.
Well, it's, the way we started out, I was a market maker on the floor of the American Stock Exchange in options. And I was always urging the exchange to go electronic. So, and as a matter of fact, I converted my operation to an electronic operation in the mid-'80s. And there was, of course, a lot of pushback from the specialists and other entrenched interests. They wanted to keep the process manual because the more confusion there was, the more opportunity they thought they had to make some money here and there. And but I was constantly pushing to make the process electronic, and actually electronic exchanges emerged in Europe around 1990, and I went over and we became members of all the freshly opened European options exchanges, and we started to make markets automatically at those exchanges. And I kept saying to the domestic exchanges here that if you don't follow suit, you're going to go bankrupt. And eventually they started to listen, especially after a brand new exchange, the ISE, finally called International Securities Exchange, finally in the year 2000 opened an electronic exchange.
Tell us where the business is today then, though.
Okay, the business today. Well, today we have about 2.3 million customers from all over the world. We have hedge funds, we have proprietary trading firms, we have individual customers, we have registered investment advisors, and we have some other brokers who use our platform to basically fulfill their mission in servicing their customers.
So where did these customers come from, Thomas? Are they new investors, or did they come from other broker dealers?
Well, many of them are, I would think maybe about 60–70% of our customers are brand new, and that includes hedge funds and prop traders and individuals and even registered investment advisors. So frequently when people start up in these businesses, they look around and they find that Interactive Brokers is, first of all, we have no minimum, so we'll take everybody, because we are so automated that we have very little cost associated with any additional customer. So we are probably the best bet to start a business like this. So and then as they grow with us, they like it, and most of them remain. Some of them who become very large then go to the Morgan Stanleys and the Goldmans of the world, because they believe that even though they charge much more, they get certain reputational benefits by being on the Goldman or Morgan Stanley platform, and that will give them additional investors. The additional investors will come to you if you have better performance, and with the least expensive platform, you will have better performance because you make that difference.
You talked about technology and sort of seeing that early on in your career. What was it that captured your eye and your attention in terms of technology and being able to apply it, Thomas, to the brokerage business?
So I came to America from Hungary when I was 21, and I was studying civil engineering. And when I got here, I got a job as a draftsman, and the company bought a computer in 1966. And they realized that nobody knew how to program it, and they asked around if anybody would care to learn, and I volunteered. And so I became a computer programmer. And then I was so fascinated by all those things that a computer could do, and looking into the future, I was completely carried away by all the opportunities, and that I'm still doing that 60 some years later.
So some people say that Interactive Brokers has helped democratize trading. How is that the case?
Democratize. I mean, yeah, if you mean that that will take a beginner with, say, you have $1,000, you can open an account with us, and we have an immense amount of educational material on our platform, so you can learn how to invest. So our mission, if I can say that, is basically educating people around the world about the benefits of the free market economy.
Is there still a need for human financial advisors?
Oh, yes, there are. Almost all financial advisors are still human. There are a few startups that are, sort of hoping to computerize more and more of the task, but nobody will dare to let the computers go without thorough supervision. And but we have some clients who are now driving their investment allocations completely by computers. And but that is just at the very beginning of the process.
Yeah, I guess we're sort of speaking about AI, right, Thomas? And I'm curious what you think about that. You said you're using it a little bit. What do you think the future of AI is for stock trading and for financial advising and for investing?
Well, I mean, it's ultimately it's a much better tool than what any person could possibly do on their own, because investment is basically data dependent. So and you have to have so much data to be able to observe and distill and synthesize and analyze to come up with investment decisions. And computers obviously can do that much better than humans can. So I think the future of investment is completely going to be AI.
Are there other technologies that you're excited about for the future of the business?
Well, of course, there are new products. So new products are very exciting to me, because we are working on such new products, and which I'm not at liberty to explain at this stage. But I'm extremely excited about new products, and some of these new products will work hand in hand with AI.
All right, we'll stay tuned for that. What about crypto? Interactive Brokers, which I should mention, by the way, of course, is a publicly traded stock, Interactive Brokers is. You have not gone into crypto trading so much. Why is that?
Well, we have enabled our customers to trade for cryptocurrencies, but we never have taken on the custody function. So we farm out the custody function because we have been extremely concerned about the legality of what is going on. So now that Congress is supposedly going to come out with legislation and give us some rules as to how to proceed, maybe this will be easier to navigate. We certainly didn't want to be sued by the SEC.
Do you have any thoughts on how it should be regulated, on whether or not it's an investment, a currency?
To tell you frankly, I'm not even convinced that it is a valid idea. Even though I own some crypto, I always say that it can go to any price, including zero, because it basically it has no fundamental value. But then I think about it and I realize that neither does paper money. So, it's all about, will people accept it as a means of payment or not?
Shifting gears a little bit, Thomas, I noticed that you guys recently extended hours for certain types of securities that you allow customers to trade. And I'm wondering, why can't we have 24/7 trading today? And what really is the difference between market hours and after hours trading?
Liquidity. So you can, in fact, trade now 24/7, but so, at 4 o'clock in the morning, there is very, very little liquidity. Even Europe is just starting up, maybe, and in Asia has just finished. So, there are very few people who are watching the markets at that time of the day. And if somebody has the bright idea of suddenly wanting to buy or sell a great amount of some product, liquidity will be hard to find.
Is there a way to mitigate that at some point?
Well, yes, there are more and more market making firms who are making computerized markets, and but when even then when there are no people who are watching the computers are put down to scale down to doing smaller volumes on both sides of the market, because they also don't want to be surprised by, say, some sudden news that has huge market impact, like an earthquake somewhere or atomic war or whatever would suddenly break out that would have huge market impact, and people who are making a market would be taken to the cleaners at that moment.
You have seen a great deal of consolidation in your business. Is there more to come? Is your company potentially going to be acquired? Or what about Schwab, which is 3.5 times bigger than your business?
All right. Well, I do not think that either Schwab or Interactive Brokers will be acquired, because we're probably too large to be acquired. Well, I certainly wouldn't be selling at the current prices, so it would be very expensive to acquire Interactive Brokers, and Schwab is a $110 billion company. It's not so easy to, there are acquisitions of that size don't often happen anymore.
And so you're not selling, certainly not this price, you're saying that, right?
No, definitely not.
Okay. I want to ask you about the market, Thomas, and where it's going. In a CNBC interview in April, you said the market was significantly overvalued, and since then it's just gone up a lot.
That's right.
What happened?
I was wrong. But, I still believe that in order to tame inflation, the economy has to slow down and earnings will have to be impacted, and that will have to be reflected in stock prices. So that's my basic logic there.
So do you think the market is due for a significant correction?
The market may be due for a significant correction if the Fed is able to take hold of inflation. The alternative is that the market will not go down by much, but the value of it will go down in nominal, not in nominal terms, because the value of money will continue to deteriorate.
But so do you think we can have a soft landing?
We can have a soft landing, and we can go on, inflation at a rate of 3-4%, and interest rates at 5-6%.
Is that likely, though?
Yeah, I think that's a likely possibility. Yes.
I mentioned that your stock IBKR is publicly traded. It's been a good stock over the past 10 years, up 400% versus 200% for the S&P 500, I noticed. But let me ask you this, Thomas. Why should investors buy your stock now?
Well, I don't really care if investors buy my stock. What I do care about is investors should come onto the Interactive Brokers platform, because we give you better terms than anybody else does. So one of the most fascinating things is that I do not understand, and I thought I've seen everything, that we are paying 4.58%, and maybe tomorrow 25 basis points higher. And other banks and brokers are paying practically nothing on immediately available cash. And still, people do not move their money to us. So, if that continues like that, then investors shouldn't buy our stock. But
how are you able to pay so much without losing money?
Well, because we pay half under Fed fund rates. We are able to invest the money at Fed funds. So we take out 0.5%. We take out 0.5% from the money that people give to us, and we pay them the remaining interest. And when people borrow money from us for margin, we charge them 0.5% over Fed funds. So basically, we are on a 1% margin. We borrow 1% less than where we lend.
Another subject, Thomas, is politics, which you've been involved in over the years, supporting various candidates, GOP candidates. Will you be publicly supporting a candidate for president next year? What
Definitely.
about Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin?
I'm very much in hoping that Glenn Youngkin will enter the race later on, maybe even still this year. And I will be a great supporter of him, as I have been, because I talk to people one-on-one. And I find that many people are very interested in supporting Glenn.
Have you spoken with Governor Youngkin personally?
Sure.
Right. And how sanguine do you think he is about running at this point?
Well, first of all, he has to deal with the specific political situation in Virginia. And Virginia is having an election in early November, and he wants to see that through. If he is able to flip the Senate to the Republican side, because the Virginia Senate is still Democrat, even though the House turned Republican when he won the governorship. So if he's able to flip the entire very blue Virginia red, then he will have enough of a demonstrated success to enter the race and make a go of it.
Sounds like you are deeply steeped in Virginia politics.
No, not that.
You know enough about it. And final question, Thomas. You mentioned you were born in Hungary, came to the United States when you were 21. You didn't really have much money at all. You
I
didn't
had no money at all, and I
no
spoke
English, no money.
No English.
Now you're a multi-billionaire. So
Right.
how did you succeed?
Well, I basically understood what makes a free market economy tick. So I decided to get a job and work hard and learn things and try to do things better and better and better, and then go on my own and continue to do things better and better and make plans and follow through. And I'm still at it.
It sounds simple, but I'm sure it wasn't. Thomas Peterffy, founder of Interactive Brokers, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you very much.